What's up, everyone? Happy 2025. It is Tim here.
What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC. Happy New Year's, everyone. It's been a while.
So let's see who I see some of the regulars in the chat already. Jeff, Jackson. What's up, brother? Kathleen, Marco, Stacy. Was there
What's going
anybody
on,
else that
everyone?
was here earlier? Greg Vanderlip was hanging out. Groundfog.
Looks like Goondocs
So
just hopped in.
what up, Docs? Hey, I got something that you just sent out the other day, Goondocs. I think it was this monster Benchmade that I'm not a fan of, or maybe it was the readout, which I kind of like. Anyway, I got something from you the other day, Goondocs.
What's going on, Bluminati?
Yeah, so Jake, this is the first show without Randy's WSG.
That's right. Unfortunately, for
Yeah,
those that don't know, he passed right before Christmas, right?
I think it was
23rd
on
or
the
24th.
23rd. Yeah, the 23rd. So, yeah, he will certainly be missed. And he was young. He had to just be early or mid 40s. He wasn't very old at all.
Right.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
So really unexpected. I had just talked to him, the day before. In fact, that knife, the Arcane Design Necronaut I sent over to you, or he sent over to you, he had reached out like, hey, I'm not feeling super well. I'm going to have my sister send it.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I think he was in the hospital. So,
yeah,
super sad. I do have some actually links I'm going to share related to that. So I know Slipjoint Sawyer's putting together a raffle. So tons of stuff on there. I'll actually share the raffle itself in a second here. But I'm going to put the link in here and then the PayPal link. So raising money for his family for funeral expenses. And I've just put both of the links in the chat, but I'm actually going to share my screen so we can see what some of those prizes are as well.
Yeah, put it up there. Yeah, Randy was awesome, and he sent me a pipe knife that I got that Necronaut fixed blade of yours the day that he passed is the day I got it in the mail, and he sent me like a little pipe knife.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just the kind of guy he was.
Yep. Yeah, he was constantly sending out stuff, slips, and loaning out things. It was just very, very giving.
So how's this raffle going to work? Is one person going to win every prize, or are they going to do a bunch of giveaways?
No, I think each one is a separate giveaway, as far as I know. And so there's a bunch of different entries. You can see all of the images over here, lists of the different prizes, and then these are the signups, and obviously these are the prizes. And they're going to draw numbers during their show this coming weekend, I believe, on the 19th. And so they have these double-sided coins, which you can also purchase separately directly from Slipjoint. All those funds are also going to that memorial fund, but this can include the coins and then all of these different knives that were donated throughout the community. And so just a really cool way to raise money. I saw Bluminati asking if the crowdfund already expired. I don't think so. I believe it is still active. It definitely is. So I'll share that in just a moment here as well. But yeah, lots of really cool prizes. I love this Winter Magic Victorinox. You got the GEC.
I saw that. I had my eye on that one. I was like, ooh, that one's, you can't get that one anymore.
A lot of great like Sheffield knives. There's the Ashley Harrison, the Michael May. So just a lot of really cool stuff and going to a great cause. So super excited about that.
So how do people buy an entry to the raffle?
So I put the link up above or to Slippy's PayPal. There's actually two different PayPals. So for UK, we have PayPal Friends and Family for Slipjoint Sawyer. And then for the US, we have Thrifty Kniffy running it.
Okay. All right, cool.
And I'm actually going to stop sharing this and then share another link. So we also have a memorial fund going for him that's going out to his mom. And I'll share that screen in just a second here.
I'm going to say hi to a few folks that just popped in. Biggie, the Knife Nut, what's up? Greg Vanderlip, T Fetch, what's going on, fellas? Thanks for joining us.
Hey,
if you
everyone.
just got here, we're talking about Randy's WSG fundraisers that are going on.
Yeah, so this one expires in 4 days, so coming to a close here soon. It's about 2/5 of the way there, so about 40% of the way to the funding goal. And again, this is going to his memorial fund. Nice kind of overview here of everything going on, and then you can scroll down for comments and a lot of different memes from the Slip Joint Sawyer
Yeah.
Discord. So if these don't make any sense to you, it's probably because you maybe aren't in that Discord, but lots of different memes from that. And yeah, just a lot going on to remember Randy. I actually ended up ordering from his merch site. So if you don't know, that's all funded by or fulfilled by Creator Spring. So you can still order from that as long as it's available. That's going to go into his bank account, which his family should have access to. So if you want something to show for your donation, you can donate money to the family while still getting some goods. I picked up the Randy's WSG hat, obviously, and actually ended up picking it up right as he was going into the hospital. But it arrived in like a week and a half or two.
Yeah, so that's good too. You can always buy a hat, buy some merch. That helps too. What's up, Westby?
He did love to give it to them Brits.
Yeah, he did. But they're fun to give it to.
Yeah, give it right back.
So now the next thing, not to start off the show on a sour note or anything like that, but how are you doing down there in Southern California? What about the wildfires? Are they anywhere close to you, and have they affected you in any way?
Yeah, so haven't really been affected in any way. There's a little bit of smoke, so air quality's down. But I actually moved from Glendale to Orange County like a couple
Okay.
years ago. And so where we were at is pretty close to the fires. In fact, I just saw a video with someone, you could see like flames from where we used to live on that street. But where I'm at now, not super close to the fires, fortunately.
Okay. And I know Ken Faulkner lives in Torrance. Do you know where Torrance is? Is that anywhere close?
Pretty
I think.
close to me. I think he's probably not going to be affected by the fires either. Probably
Okay.
same thing. He might have a little bit of smoke, maybe some ash. He's a little bit closer than I am,
Yeah.
but shouldn't be too close to the affected areas.
Yeah, that's crazy. What's up, Joseph?
What's going on, Joseph? Anaso?
Oh yeah, Anaso, what's up?
But yeah, fortunately, I haven't been too close. It's still a little bit windy. I know the fires are seemed like they were contained, but some of them are kind of turning around into more populated areas. I just talked to someone who was getting like a evacuation warning, not where they actually have to evacuate, just that they might in the next 24 hours. So be ready with your stuff. So
Yeah,
definitely
that's
still going
crazy.
on. Hopefully they'll get it under control pretty soon though.
Yeah, I hope so. After seeing what happened in Hawaii a couple years ago, that shit is terrifying, man.
Yeah.
I know that's a little different because people got stuck. They literally had nowhere to go, but you know how it is if everybody's trying to evacuate at the same time, there's only so many roads out of town.
Right. Yeah, not super close to Santa Maria, Marco. I think it was I drove out there for a wedding somewhat recently. It was about a 4 hour or so drive from here. And I'm not sure
Yeah.
if there's any fires going on up there. I know Duty's Daggers is up in that area, so he may know a little bit more about what's going on up there.
Did you drive the motorcycle? Oh shit, we both put that up there at the same
Same
time.
one. I'll let you.
Did you
Not a whole
drive the
lot,
motorcycle?
honestly. So I got sick around Christmas time, and then it
Yeah, me
lasted
too.
nearly 2 weeks. And so I've been sick almost the entire time. And then with the winds and stuff going on, just haven't had a lot of opportunity to ride, but a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I got sick too. That's what happened last week. We had to cancel the show because I had the COVIDs, and but I'm getting over it now. Still a little congested, but freaking everybody got sick right around Christmas time. So it is
Yeah.
what it is. It's that time of year.
Yeah, pretty much my whole family ended up getting sick from Christmas and like that 2 week period after. Fortunately, I feel like it was pretty mild for us. I was super tired and like had headache and a little bit of congestion, but it was just kind of there for 2 weeks and lingered
Yeah,
without being super bad.
yeah, kind of the same. Enough to feel like shit, but not enough to stop me from really doing what I need to. And I started substitute teaching
Right.
full time. Like, so what I used to do is just pick up a shift at whatever school they need me. They have like a website, you check it online. If there's somewhere you want to go, you just sort of pick it up and go. Then they asked me, they knew I was a science teacher and they had a science opening at a middle school. Jesus God, middle school kids, they are extra. And they were like, they need a full-time sub until the end of the year. Do you want to do it? It kind of sucks going every day because I wasn't really intending on going every day.
Right.
You know, just a little bit here and there to supplement my income. But yeah, I'm doing that, and I'm almost 100% certain that I got sick from walking into that little germ factory like immediately. Yeah.
Right.
Pretty sure that's where it came from. So let's talk about knives and gear. What do you got? I've got a bunch of borrowed stuff from the pass around group. I got some new stuff for Christmas to show and talk about. So you want to start?
Do you want to do Christmas first?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so only a couple kind of EDC related. I've been a lot of my Christmas stuff was geared towards like fitness and recovery. I've been trying to get in a little bit better shape, so I got a lot of that kind of stuff. Not really EDC related, but did get as part of a Secret Santa group. I'm in this group called Sharp Art, run by my buddy Chris out here. He's actually in Los Angeles, a lot closer to the fires. We did a Secret Santa gift exchange, and I got the Giant Mouse GMF1. It's a really cool little fixed blade. A little bit over the price limit too. We had a price limit of a maximum of $100, and I saw these going for about $150. But the guy who got it for me, this guy David, he said he got it on sale, and they were doing like a freebie, which he kept the freebie to offset the cost. So just really lucked out with that one. Super fun. I did end up going with the Demco Shark Cub for my Secret Santa.
Yeah.
But yeah, super cool little fixie.
Is that like DLC coated or Cerakote? It looks like it might have Cerakote finish.
Yeah, so I believe it's PVD coated and then dark washed, stone washed. So it has that super dark finish that looks great and protects it. It gives it a little bit more corrosion resistant.
Are you going to leave the handle skeletonized, or are you going to wrap it, or what?
I'm undecided. I'm either going to leather wrap it, buy some scales for it, or just put a lanyard on the end. Haven't decided yet.
I think a leather wrap might look cool. And then if you don't like it, you can always
cut it off.
Take it off. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know if I showed this on the last show, but we got the RoseCraft cotton sampler. I don't think these were out.
I don't think so.
Prior to Christmas. I really like it because the blade on it has more of a pronounced clip. It's almost like a spay blade. It's like somewhere in between a cotton sampler blade and a spay blade. And I know not everybody loves a cotton sampler, but I do. And these are freaking fantastic. And also, speaking of RoseCraft blades, their trapper, they have a 2-bladed trapper dropping this Friday. Andy is sending me my one to review, and he's also sending me another one to do a giveaway. So,
nice. That's sweet.
Yeah, next week I am gonna. What's up, Thrifty Kniffy? We're gonna be doing a giveaway for the new RoseCraft trapper.
Yeah. TK can hear us talking about him. We said his name a few too many times, and he showed up.
Yeah. TK, we were talking about your raffle for Randy's WSG. Appreciate you guys doing that and hosting that. That's really awesome of you guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Knives Are Life. He just mentioned the Concept EDC tools. So I have another Christmas gift I'm going to show, but might as well show those off here. So they have a bunch of new EDC tools and fidgets. Up first, we have the Primate. Just did a video on these, so these have appeared before, but it has this kind of nice tactical ring with the glass breaker, the pry tool, some hex wrenches, all kinds of different stuff. And pretty affordable too. I think this one's around the $40 price point. They also have the crowbar, which is a little bit more affordable if that's something you're looking for. And this one's around the $25 price point. I think $23 has pretty similar tool set, just a little bit smaller form factor and shaped like a bird, which is kind of fun.
Yeah,
Reversible
that's
pocket
cool.
clip on this one too. And then the stiletto, which is this crazy ice pick or spike, whatever you want to call it. They say it's for crafting and detail work,
Crafting.
but clearly a nice little get off me tool, which they can't advertise.
I could have used that a couple weeks ago when my freezer completely filled with ice. Did I tell you guys about that?
Oh no.
All right, so a couple weeks. It was right around Christmas time. So we've got a side by side freezer refrigerator, and it made this squealing noise one night, just and then it stopped. We didn't think anything of it, and then I noticed that water was leaking down the back wall of the freezer. Well, I, I let it go, and the next day I woke up and my freezer was completely full of ice. Not,
Was it
not
just one ice cube, basically?
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Not like frost, where you
Right.
need to. It was chunks of like the whole damn thing was frozen, solid. It just completely filled with water and froze.
No, that's
And
rough.
so, yeah, it took me 8 hours to get all the. I spent a whole day getting all the ice out of that thing, and we finally got it fixed. Apparently, those electric ice makers have a little computer and they call the water
Mm,
from the water line. They tell it so the water doesn't flow constantly. It like calls for water and then it shoots water into it. Well, apparently ours just backfired and it was calling for water constantly.
that's
And
crazy.
yeah, so, and of course, I don't have an ice pick. So I was using random knives and shit to try to break it apart. Yeah.
What's up, Gideon stuff?
What's up, Gideon?
That's funny. Yeah, ironically enough, I haven't run into that many issues where I need an ice pick, but I have a few of them. I have another one on my desk right here, the Winkler ice pick. This was the last run of these. They discontinued this product, but
Yeah.
the Winkler ice pick as well. And I just used this the other day actually on like a bag of ice that had all melted then frozen back together. So I was using it to break it apart.
Yeah, you don't need an ice pick much, but when you do, there's really no other tool that works nearly as well. I mean,
Right, because
a screwdriver is okay, but
yep.
it's not the same.
Yeah, even with this, I was worried like the ice is so hard that it was gonna like break the
Yeah.
tip off, but it's just fun.
So I saw people talking about sacks earlier. So you guys know I've
Talking
been
about Swiss
kind of
Army knives or okay,
not scrote sacks, Swiss Army
gotcha.
knives. So the newest one in my collection is the Bantam A-locks. Um,
Nice.
the Alox Bantam, whatever. Just the single blade and the combo tool. And
Yep.
what I like about it is apparently this is the thinnest one that they make. It's like super, super slim,
Yeah.
really cool. Um, yeah, so got that one for Christmas. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a Christmas gift, either Christmas or birthday, but it's new.
Nice. I dig that. Did you see the new Victorinox 2025 color?
The brick
Yeah, it's
red
really cool.
Alox. Yeah, I like it a lot. I
Yeah, I think
might
a
have
lot of
to.
people didn't like last year's, and I haven't really seen a super consensus on this year yet. I've only seen a few people's feedback on it, but I really dig it. It's kind of a nice nod to the original red
Yeah,
Cellular, but also just looks great.
yeah, I like it. I might pick up that. What is it? It's either the Farmer X or the Pioneer X that they're
Yeah.
releasing in that brick red
Yeah, I'm not
Alox.
sure which it is. I have one from a couple years ago that was the Farmer X,
Yeah,
but I think
I
they
think
also
it's
do
the
the Pioneer X.
I think it's the Pioneer. They don't have them all with
Right.
that. There's like 4 or 5 different models, but
Yeah, I'll most likely pick up the Cadet. I was also thinking about doing their folder, their locking folder.
yeah, that one's pretty slick too. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So rounding out my Christmas list, like I said, not a whole lot of EDC related stuff. Did end up getting this from a different Secret Santa. This was a family Secret Santa, the free Leatherman free.
Oh, nice.
I think this is a T4, I want to say. But yeah, just kind of a cool one. It has locking blades, locking tools. Not a whole lot, no pliers or anything like that. So it keeps it nice and simple. A little bit more compact, but still a lot bulkier than like an equivalent Victorinox tool. But the trade-off is that
Yeah,
you get a locking tool, which is kind of cool.
yeah. Yep. Very nice.
Yeah.
Let's see what else I got for. Whoops.
Every time.
I got 3 different CJRBs that are all pretty
Nice.
similar. I got the large pyrite light, and what's cool about this, it has like an extra little safety button lock. And I've heard some people complain that that safety lock gets in their way, and they accidentally sometimes um, push that when they mean to push the button lock. I haven't had that problem with this at all. I really like that one. Then I got the regular pyrite light, and also the acacia.
Yeah. Yeah, I
And
have those last two. Really dig both of them.
they're all part of their budget FRN line.
Yep.
But I like all of them. Super light, and of course I love the pyrite alt version anyway. So I had to have those 2 for sure.
Yeah, I dig them, and they're super cheap. I also really like that blue
Yeah.
color that you have them in.
Yeah.
It's just a weird shade of blue that I
Yeah.
like.
It's got a little purple tint to it. I dig it.
Nice. Yeah, so not a Christmas related, or I guess not a Christmas present, but somewhat Christmas related. Protect did a friends and family day at their shop.
Yeah.
And so they invited a bunch of people from the Facebook group. Jennifer reached out to invite me out there, and it's 15 minutes for me, maybe a little bit less. And so went out there. They had taco stand and all free food and drinks and stuff like that. Also doing factory tours, but they were also doing super discounted models, like some insane discounts. Some of them were secondaries, like display pieces and stuff like that, and other stuff was just discounted. So I ended up picking up 2 knives from there. I picked up the Rent 5 in the 25th anniversary edition. And
oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so it has the Nexus pattern. It's that 17.4 stainless steel, which is an ultra heavy steel, supposedly stronger than titanium and just super weighty. So it gives it a really nice heavy feel magna cut on the blade. I don't think they wanted us to talk about the prices at them because there was no recording there. And so I'll just say that this was about a third of the regular pricing of these. So
oh wow,
yeah,
that is a deal.
Huge discount. Yeah. So, and in addition to that one, I picked up the what's this one called? The drawing a blank here. It used to be called the Half Breed, but I know they don't want us calling it the Half Breed anymore, so they end up changing. Sprint. There we go. The Sprint. So the Protect Sprint, another California legal automatic, super lightweight, and yeah, this one was also pretty heavily discounted. It had a small scratch on it, but I've wanted to pick up this model for a while, so I figured why not. And this is just kind of the base model, so already pretty affordable.
Yeah, I like it. What do you know about the Corgi pup? I know the Corgi, but not the pup.
So I have the pup. It's great. I like these smaller size knives. It just depends on what your preference is. Like, I think if you had the same knife, you'd say it's a little bit too small. For me, I really dig smaller knives, and I prefer it over the full size Corgi. But I think you'd probably prefer the full size Corgi.
Yeah. The Corgi's already really small, right? It's
I wouldn't say really small. I think it's probably about 7 inches.
Okay, I was thinking it was closer to 6, but yeah. Mini knives are suddenly all the craze, aren't they? Like everybody's coming out. There's like the mini raccoon, the raccoon cub, the corgi pup. I don't know if they're all like new models, but it just seems like there's a big push for minis right now. They've gotten popular.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know when I'm buying knives, a lot of times I'm buying like the miniature version if it has one.
Yeah. Speaking of minis, so I've got a bunch of Benchmades in right now from the pass around group, and I don't own a single Benchmade. I've handled a ton of them, but I tell you what, the mini bug out, I freaking love it. I really do. So if I ever bought a Benchmade, this would probably be the first one. The action is much better than a regular bug out. It's not as squishy because because the scales are shorter,
Right.
so they're more rigid, and it's really not that small, but this thing just freaking disappears in your pocket. You can wear this with freaking underwear, and you don't know that you're carrying it.
Right.
I
Yeah, I
don't know.
love the mini bug out.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'd buy another one now though, honestly,
yeah,
because
I
I've had
don't.
mine for probably 4 or 5 years. Benchmade raised their prices again this year, which is crazy,
Yeah, this is
and
going for like almost 180. I can't
yeah,
see that. And the other thing is, I don't know if I would ever use a knife this small to justify that steel.
right,
Like, do I really need S30V on a knife like this? Like, what am I going to use this for?
right,
To open a box, open a letter, cut an apple, shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take this camping and use this as my primary knife. So, do I really need S30V, or can I get by with freaking D2 or 14C or something like that? You know?
right, right. What's going on, Dwayne and Byron? Just jumped in the chat. Yeah, so like I said, I picked mine up probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe even more than that. So I've had it
Yeah.
forever, but now there's so many alternatives, like the
Right.
Vosteed Mini Nightshade, I think is a pretty good alternative, kind of a
Yeah.
different shaped blade, but really good
Yeah.
alternative.
Got that
The
right here.
Mini Pyrite, or the Pyrite Light, actually is
Yeah.
probably a better
Yeah.
alternative. The Mini Pyrite's probably a little bit on the small side to be an alternative, but the Pyrite Light with the Axis lock, I think, is a really good alternative, and both of those are $30 to $60 versus $200 for the mini bug out.
And one that I might check out, that this was actually, I won this in a giveaway, I think from Ken Faulkner, was the Vosteed Acorn.
All right,
And they have that mini acorn now, and I really like the looks of that mini acorn and also the raccoon cub. So I might check out one of those.
that's cool. Yeah, I thought it
Um,
was interesting actually that Benchmade is raising their price. It's not super surprising, but after all the flack that they've gotten over like the last year or two, which I feel like it's already intensified to double down and raise their prices again, especially when Spyderco lowered their prices this year.
yeah,
So they lowered the MSRP on almost all of their models, and so obviously they're in the same economy. So kind of a bad look for Benchmade, I think.
and I've heard people that never used to say anything about the price of Benchmade now are talking about it. You know what
Right,
I mean? Um, so I've always talked about Benchmade prices. Like, I love their knives. I hate their prices just because I don't understand the price.
right,
I mean, I understand part of it. It's an American made knife. You got this super steel on most of it, but the rest of it is FRN usually, Grivery, and pretty basic.
right, right,
It's not fat carbon, it's not all this exotic shit. It's just, so I don't get it.
right. Yeah, I
Um
have a lot of Benchmades. Most of them are older or came from like subscriptions. I probably have about 20 or so now, and so a decent number. But I'm still kind of the stance. It's not really my place to figure out if something's overpriced or
right,
underpriced. It's
right.
really up to everyone else. But I will say that I haven't bought a Benchmade in years, so
Yeah.
um,
And
not
most
enough to
what's up, Dick
justify me
Ritchie?
picking one up.
Yeah, and most people that I've talked to have said the same thing. Like, they like Benchmade's knives. Um, even some of the fanboys, that professed fanboys, are like, I'm a huge fan of Benchmade and I've got a bunch of them, but I wouldn't pay current prices for them.
Right,
All the ones I've gotten have been like 10 years ago or 8 years ago or something.
right. And one I was actually tempted by really recently was from the pass around group as well, that shootout in purple.
Yeah.
But I think,
So
it's pretty comparable to like the Kershaw Livewire, which is half the price. But I think the purple is what was really drawing me in, to be honest.
I did, and I like the clip. Um, so I handled a Benchmade shootout before one time, and I just took a shit on it big time. Like, I just said this is the worst knife ever made. Cavemen made better knives out of rocks. Like I spent 15 minutes just completely dogging that knife out. This one, however, the action is so much better. The last one, it felt like it was just loading up, and then when it popped out, it kind of felt plastic,
Yeah.
toyish, like a Jack in the Box. This one feels completely different. And this is one of their newer versions. I don't know if they've changed anything compared to the one I handled before, but this one feels so much better.
Right.
Like this feels more like a Pro Tech or something, you know?
Right. Yeah, and that's been my experience with Benchmade too, especially with the Infidel. It's just kind of horrible action. I didn't own any out the fronts from Benchmade, but I
Yeah,
found this one to be actually pretty comparable to like the Livewire and other out the
yeah,
fronts, American made out the fronts, like Microtech. The action was a little bit lighter than like a Microtech or Heretic for the Switch, but it was
yeah,
pretty smooth. I think the
yeah,
acoustics were a little bit funky. It kind of sounded like the Kershaw, where you have that dragging sound of the tray on the
yeah,
inside,
yeah.
where you don't get that with Microtech and Heretic. But it's also priced a little bit higher than most of my Microtechs and Heretic knives.
Right. What did I
So,
say? Pro Tech. I meant Microtech. It
right.
feels closer to a Microtech, but it does still, like you said, it feels like the switch is loading up.
Yeah.
It, but it feels better than the last one.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah. I was pretty
So,
impressed with it, to be honest.
yeah, I'm not going to shit on this one. Um, I did shit on the other one big time. Here's another Benchmade that I have from the pass around group that I absolutely freaking hate. And let me tell you why. This is called the PSK. I don't know if this is a new model, but it does say first run on the
Right.
box. So the scale, it looks cool, right? First of all, it weighs an absolute shit ton. This thing is so heavy. Um, yeah, so it says first production run. You probably can't see it. First production on the blade. The blade is Magna Cut. It looks super cool. It feels comfortable. It's heavy as a freaking brick bat, and it's got this secondary lock on the back, this safety
Right.
lock, and that safety lock is like super gritty. Look how I'm pushing the damn thing just to get it to engage. Like it's real sticky, real gritty, and I don't like that safety lock. And the other thing that doesn't make sense to me is it's assisted.
Right.
So to close it, it doesn't you can't close
Right.
it with one hand with the axis lock, which kind of seems like it defeats the purpose. The whole point of an axis lock is a one-handed close, in
Right.
my
With your
opinion.
fingers outside of the path of the blade. It's, yeah.
Right. You can't do that. So you have to engage the axis lock and push the blade down because it's assisted. Right? It doesn't make sense. Nothing
Right.
about this makes sense to me. Yeah. If it was just unassisted and FRN instead of steel or aluminum or whatever heavy ass shit they made it out of, I think it would be better, but yeah.
Yeah, I would assume it's aluminum, and the weight must be coming from the liners, because I don't think I've
It's
ever seen Benchmade using steel scales, but I know they use aluminum pretty frequently. But usually they're pretty light, like the bug out, mini bug out with aluminum scales are ultra lightweight.
Let me see how much this weighs.
I am not Shadow Fury Piranha automatic knives. I've heard of them, but I've never handled one or even seen one in person.
So 6.2 ounces, but it
Jeez.
feels, I mean, that's heavy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and it's
Yeah,
probably what, like 7.5 inches long, maybe.
yeah, yeah, pretty close to that. Maybe 7 and a quarter. As you see, it just fucking this thing, like, yeah, I hate it. But now that you mention that, you probably won't be able to see it on here, but it is the liners. There's no milling
All right.
on those liners at all. It's just like a solid chunk of steel. Yeah,
Yeah, I
this
guess
thing
that makes
sucks.
sense for the weight.
I'm afraid I'm gonna Yeah, hate that. So I'm gonna shit all over that thing.
I'm also not a huge fan of safeties in general on knives. I feel like if I ever got burned, I probably would be. If I cut open my thigh
Yeah,
because I don't have a
yeah.
safety, but it's never happened to me, so I don't. Even if I have a safety on a knife, I don't use it. Like I know the 9400 from Benchmade has a safety as well. That one's pretty smooth and easy to unlock and lock, but I never use it. I rather just open
Yeah,
in my
we're
pocket.
not showing the scary stuff. So here's another Benchmade from the past. So I got like 12 Benchmades from the pass around group all at once. Um, here's the Readout, which is one of my favorite ones. I really like the Readout. This is the Tonto version. I reviewed the other one before. I'm sure this costs $300 or $400, which is crazy. Um, but it is a cool knife. And I will say the one thing about Benchmade is when they're new, the action is not great.
Yeah,
Once they break in, the action's good. But you see me failing it all the time on these is because these are all brand new.
yeah, yeah.
But I do like the Readout a lot.
Yeah, there always seems to be a break-in period with them.
Yeah, yeah,
It's interesting because all the companies copied the Axis lock with their own crossbar locks, but I feel like that's not always the case with most other companies where you have to break them in right out of the box, where it pretty much
right.
always is with Benchmade. But one thing I've noticed is with the Benchmades, if you put it upside down and actuate that crossbar lock, the blade doesn't move at all. But if you use any other brand of crossbar lock, if you move it, the blade kind of jumps in and out.
Oh
So
yeah,
they're
yeah,
definitely functioning a little bit differently. I'm not sure what it is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Good point. Yeah, so like what you're talking about, if I actuate the axis lock, that blade does not move.
Right.
If I do it on the CJRB Acacia, oh, of course you can't see it because I'm holding it all weird.
The blade
See
kind of
how the
starts to jump, right? It starts the action off a little bit.
yeah, see how the blade moves out. Shit. Anyway, the blade is moving. I promise you. When you actuate the lock, the blade jumps.
Right.
So yeah, there's got to be something different going on.
Yeah, and pretty much every other brand is like that. I tried it out on like 10 different brands when I noticed it.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
pretty wild.
What's up, JC? Mountain Ajar, Dwayne Letterman, Arizona EDC, Robo. What's up, fellas?
Yeah. Another one I just
Ontario.
got in. This was a pre-order from the end of August, I think like August 31st or something like that. So is the Blade Forum knife of the year. So they do a traditional knife each year. It's all organized by Spark, and they have this huge saw belly GEC made, and got that really nice die on there. And these just came in. They're actually still available. Unfortunately, not at the pre-order price. So you end up having to pay a little bit more, but it's this big old Stockman.
Yeah, that is a big boy right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a man's knife. That's a
yeah,
man's slip joint right there.
yeah. Really pretty. Comes with a blade forum button. I got the last year's. I didn't think to grab it, but they do one every year. So there's tons of them.
Yes, T Ontario is still in business. I think the one Dick Ritchie's talking about is the Rat 1.5.
Right.
Isn't that the one that they just released in MagnaCut?
Yeah,
I didn't know it
exactly.
was.
And it's
I
kind of
didn't
a
know it was
mid-sized.
under $70 though. I thought it was like 100. If you can get one for 70 though, that's a freaking deal.
Yeah, that is crazy. And yeah, they're
Yeah.
still in business. They sold to a company, Blue something, that's a distribution company, but they're still making pretty much all of the major knives. I haven't noticed some of the smaller ones, like the Ice series. I haven't seen that one around in a while, so I don't know if they're still making
Mhm.
that. But the big fixed blades, as well as the wrap models, those are all still being produced.
What's up, Dan? Thanks
Ron
for joining
Dobbins,
us.
Dan, how's it going?
Crab with a knife. Let's see. The rats are really mediocre design and my terrible blade to handle ratio. I'm not necessarily bad though. I would check out one of those 1.5s. That's kind of what I mean, I don't think it's a terrible design. For me, the Rat Model 1 is just a little too big, and the Rat Model 2 is just a little too small. So, and I'm sure they must have heard that from other people,
Right.
and that's why the 1.5 came out.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it just feels a little bit dated to me. It's not like a super exciting knife.
Right, right.
At the time, obviously, it was like one of the best budget knives you can get, but there's so many out there now with designs I like a little bit better in the same price territory that it's just not
Yeah,
super exciting.
yeah, for sure.
But
I still might have to check it out because,
yeah,
it's like a
same.
classic. So here's one that's not expensive at all. So we'll jump from Benchmade to freaking old timer. So I got this one for Christmas. This is an old timer Barlow 280 OT. Now, here's the thing. I didn't even know there was such a thing as an old timer Barlow.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is a new ish. Maybe not brand new, but like I search up old timer all the time on Amazon and whatnot, looking at their slip joints because I just have a soft spot for that doo doo brown and cheap pot steel. And I had never ever seen an old timer Barlow. And then I saw it and I was like, yeah, somebody get me that for Christmas. So pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, that's super cool, and I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, I think it's a new-ish. So that one's pretty cool. I got that for Christmas.
Nice.
Sweeney Mars Valley carbon fiber, nice. Devo mash. Devo just came out with the mini. What was it? The mini growler?
Not 100% sure.
I think it was a mini growler. I think it dropped last Friday, or this Friday or something. But they're coming out. The growler and the growler version
Right.
2. Um, they just made their mini growler, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't been super current on news. I'm just kind of getting back into the swing of things. I kind of stepped back from YouTube when we stopped doing the lives for the year, and then everything happened with Randy. I stepped back for 2 or 3 weeks, and just now getting back into the swing of things. So missed out on a few weeks worth of news.
HT's EDC in the house. There's a lot of folks here tonight
Yeah,
that don't normally stop in. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us. We
much
certainly
appreciated.
appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of times we have a lot of the regular crew, but I see some new faces that don't typically join us. So,
For sure. Yeah, and I saw
Sodbuster.
mentioned of Jack Wolf up above, and I do have the new Jack Wolf in. So the After Hours Jack, this is run 2 of it in the Dark Matter red.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
I think this is the coolest run of variations they've ever done. Have you seen some of the other versions?
Yes, I have. They're
What's
pretty
going
sweet.
on,
What up,
Rain?
Marine X? Ron Dobbins, what's up, everybody?
Yeah,
Stacy, new member. Thank you very much, Stacy. Stacy won that capybara, and she
right.
said she's loving it. So I'm really glad you're enjoying that. I'm glad you won it. So somebody mentioned they like the sodbuster pattern, but they don't like the case. True sharp. Let's see if I got it here. So let me just recommend this. Um, let's see. Let me pop me up here for a second. The RoseCraft Blades Overall Creek Farmhand. This one dropped before Christmas. I cannot say enough good things about this knife. This is a little bit bigger than the Sodbuster Junior, a little bit smaller than the full size Sodbuster, which is perfect. D2 blade steel, which is superior to that true sharp stuff. You've got a half stop, and it's just so much better than a case Sodbuster, in my opinion, and less than a Saudi Junior, right around $60 for this. So check that out if you're looking for an alternative to the Sodbuster.
Nice. I think I saw in that same comment he was looking for carbon steel though.
Oh, carbon steel. Well, D2 is not entirely stainless, but it's not carbon
Right.
steel, but it's also not entirely stainless.
Yeah. Yeah, one knife I was pretty surprised about came in the Going Gear last month, and that was I believe it's called the Snick. Have you seen this one?
Uh-uh.
One, I really like the stonewash pairing with that green micarta, but also
Yeah,
just a really, really good knife. I don't look at Wii's all that often because a majority of their designs are just kinda out there and crazy. But every once in a while, they
yeah,
come along with some really good stuff, and so a little bit more affordable. I don't know the price on this one. It came in a going gear, like I said, but I would guess probably, like, under 200 or so.
yeah. I like that blade profile too. That
Yeah.
clip. I
Yeah.
like that clip on there. Yeah, Dan, you got it, man. Check that out. I think you'll like it. The overall RoseCraft Blades Overall Creek Farmhand is what it's called. Um, and they've got it in two different versions. And if I had to guess, he's going to be dropping that in Stag sooner than later. So if you're into Stag handles, I'm sure he's going to release that farmhand with Stag handles for sure.
Nice. Yeah, and
Yeah,
they do nice stag, I think.
yeah.
I like
I
the
he
case stag a little bit more, but theirs is right up there. It's really good.
yeah. Um, Jake, you want to take that one? Do you think we feels different than? I don't own any Wii knives. I've handled them. In my opinion, they do feel more premium.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe a little bit. It's
Yeah,
not a big jump. I think they just use more premium materials, but like
yeah,
the fit and finish is usually pretty similar overall, maybe a slight improvement, but
yeah.
it's just the materials that you're getting really that changes the price point, I think.
Rob said he picked up that farmhand after watching my video. Yeah, man, glad you like it. It's a good one. Um, I think it's just perfect because it's bigger than a Saudi Junior, which to me is a little bit dainty, just a little bit too skinny, a little bit too short. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, in my experience, we is um, it does feel a little more high end. It doesn't feel super premium, but like you said, they've kind of started with some kind of weird designs for me. You know, for my aesthetic, I
Right,
don't really like everything that they're doing, but I'm pretty much a simpleton. You know, I like
right,
kind of simple, straightforward designs is really my jam.
right. I do like weird designs, but some of theirs are just like, yeah, not really my style.
Speaking of, let me show this. I know that you showed it on the stream before, but while I got it here, I'm going to get this back in the mail to you. This is Jake's knife. This is the Arcane Design Necronaut. This is so badass, bro. This is so freaking killer. This is such a cool knife. Um, it wouldn't be my first choice, or like you said, even my second choice for like if I'm going camping, bushcrafting or something. This is not what I'm going to choose, but this is just such a cool piece to have in the collection. The freaking grind on that blade, it's just wicked. The only way to describe it, it's just a
Yeah,
badass knife.
yeah.
And
It
it's
just has such like a unique design aesthetic.
yeah. Has he done any other fixed blades, or is this Arcane's
No, that's
only
his first
fixed blade?
fixed blade. Yeah, this is first
Yeah,
fixed blade. He's done that one obviously as a folder, and then he did say I think that he plans on doing some other fixed blades in the future.
yeah. I hope so because I really dig that, and
Yeah,
it's not as
I really want
heavy.
to see.
It's not as
Us.
heavy as I thought it would be with the aluminum handles on it.
Right. Yeah, it's super lightweight. I'd
Yeah.
really like to see the Something Obscene collab that they did, the kind of dagger looking knife.
Oh
I
yeah.
forget the name of the model, but it's my favorite one. I haven't been able to find it.
What's up, Jacob? Very good knife company. So Jacob's back in business.
Yeah,
He
it's exciting.
dropped a run of Ramblers last week and sold out over the weekend. So Jacob is back up and running. If you guys have been trying to get one of his knives, he's got the shop going now, so that's really good news.
Yeah, Kubi is super solid. Kubi,
the my
Concept, all those
here.
budget brands are CGRB doing such a good job nowadays.
So Kubi does Tempest knives, right? They OEM his stuff, don't they?
I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure they do. So this is the Tempest Microburst. My thing about Kubi, I like them. I have no problem with them, but they all have sort of, I don't know how to describe it. They all have sort of this rounded kind of hump to the spine
Right.
of every single knife. It's like, I don't know, every time I see a Kubi knife, it definitely has Kubi DNA. I don't know how to describe it. They kind of always have this rounded sort of spine, and after a while, it kind of starts to drive me crazy because they all start to look the same. Maybe I'm crazy. I mean, they do good work. I have no problem with them, but I can always, as soon as I see a knife from Kubi, I can tell it's Kubi.
Huh. That's interesting. I haven't noticed that. I'm gonna have to go check out some of my Kubis.
Yeah, just they all kind of have this sort of rounded profile to it. That's the only way I know how to describe it. Um, yeah, everything is all just sort of rounded.
Right.
Everything seems rounded off. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking crazy. Probably.
What's going on, Grinch?
Probably. Um, let's see. So I got a watch for Christmas. Let me show
Oh
you
yeah,
this.
which one?
It's the Casio Duro, also known as the Casio Marlin. Uh, Dive watch, automatic movement, rotating bezel, the works, 200 meters of water resistance. Freaking awesome quality. Like, I have been hearing nothing but good things about the Casio Duro, is what it's called, also
Right.
known as the Casio Marlin. Like, tons of great reviews, and it's only like $50,
Sweet.
but it feels closer to a $300 watch. It's killer.
That's sweet. Yeah,
Absolute
I've
killer.
been getting the itch lately for a new watch. I haven't bought a new watch in a while.
Yeah, if you like a dive watch and you don't want to drop a ton of cash, check that one out. It's really cool. Screw down crown, applied indices, the whole works, all the ceramic bezel, all the stuff that you see on a more high end watch, for $50. You can't beat it. Excuse me.
Nice. So I didn't prepare you for this question at all, but
Okay.
obviously first show of the year. Did you have any New Year's resolutions this year?
To not be such a dick, but that'll never happen. So, um, no, let's see. No, not really. Not
No?
any stated resolution like this is what I'm going to do. I mean, I'd like to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, but
Yeah.
that's not so much a resolution as a goal. How about
Right.
you?
Yeah, I had a couple. One was just to kind of get in better shape, general shape, not necessarily looking to lose weight, just kind of lose fat, build muscle. Um, so that was one of them. Also, really wanted to um, start a second YouTube channel. So I'm working on that.
Nice.
Um, not what I was expecting. Honestly, when I was originally thinking about it, I was planning on starting like a motorcycle YouTube channel. But then as I've been riding, I realized I just kind of want to just enjoy the ride and not have to be worrying about like talking and things like that. And
Yeah.
so probably going to start one on like side hustles and passive income, which is something I'm just like
Oh,
really
really?
into also is just building passive income streams. So probably going to do something like that. And so that was a big one. And yeah, as far as the channel goes, I don't know that I really set one this year because every year I miss it. So last year, or I guess the previous year, my goal was 5,000, and then I hit 5,000 like a week after the new year. And then
Yeah.
this year it was 10,000, which would have been much higher pace than what I was actually getting. But I
Yeah.
did outpaced what I was supposed to get and ended up around 9,000, but still 1,000 short.
Yeah.
So I'm not just gonna set a subscriber limit because you have no control over it, and I've
No.
missed it 2 years in a row just barely. So
Yeah.
didn't end up setting one this year for the channel.
What's up, Grinch? What's up, Ken Faulkner? Hey, Ken, we were talking about you earlier.
A couple times actually.
Yeah, I hope you're okay with the fires down there in Southern California. I hope that you guys have not been affected. Jake says he's okay, and he's pretty sure the area you're in is okay too, but really hope you guys are doing well. So I've been thinking about y'all for sure.
Yeah, I saw a comment up.
There was something about
both Benchmade and Spyderco being overrated was the one I was going to mention. It's too far up there now to find, but I believe it was Crab with a Knife as well.
What the hell happened? Now all my comments are gone. Oh, here they are.
That's not good.
They're there. JC Mountain Ajar mentioned the Civivi Sentinel, and he's not a fan. He wasn't impressed with it. And I just wanted to say that I had that knife. So that Civivi Sentinel dropped about the same time as that Vision FG. And everybody went crazy over that Vision FG. I didn't really dig it that much, but I liked the looks of the Sentinel better. And then I got the Civivi Sentinel in my hand. Didn't like it at all. At all. And in fact, I sold it. So you're not the only one, brother. I did not like that knife either.
I don't think I've ever handled that one.
Yeah, I can't even remember what I didn't like about it, to be honest, but it just didn't. I mean, it looked really cool in the pictures, and then I got it in my hand, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of shit.
You know, I'm finally at the point where I'm like, I think I need to start selling some knives.
Oh, really?
Still never sold a knife. But yeah, my drawers are just overflowing. They're like double stacked. I could buy a second workbench, but it's pretty crazy that one's already full. I don't need that many knives. So I might start trying to clear out some of the ones that I just don't really carry.
Yeah.
There you
Have
go,
the year
TK.
not suck. That's a good one. Yeah, I would like to have a better year in the mortgage business for sure. And then for me, getting in better shape is always a resolution, but it never really works out that way.
Yeah, it's tough to stick to it. You know, I also started like just kind of random things for the new year that weren't really resolutions, but I started learning Japanese on Duolingo.
Bro, I've been doing fucking. It's crazy you say that because you can't see it, of course. I've been doing Italian.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I sent a text to my wife one day, and the text just said something like French, Italian, Dutch, or German. And I think she thought I was asking about dinner. And so her response was Italian. And so I started doing Italian on Duolingo.
That's cool. I kind of wish I chose a language with the same alphabet as us. I mean, they write it out with like the sounds, but the kanji is so much like harder to learn than the words.
Dutch,
I feel like
Dutch is actually the closest to English.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I should have done Dutch. Most of my family is Dutch, so
Dutch, Danish, Frisian, German, any of those Germanic languages, English came from that. So there's a lot of crossover. But I've been having fun with the Italian. That's pretty cool. And if you don't have the ad-free shit, it's so worth it.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't have the paid subscription, it's definitely worth it. So you don't have an ad every 5 seconds that you have to watch.
I don't have it currently, but they gave like the free trial, so I'm on the free trial version of it.
It's better, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, way
better. So much better. Yeah, I had the little free trial, and then I was like, oh yeah, fuck, this is way worth the whatever $10.99 a month or whatever it is. Right. What up, D Sharon Design?
Going on? How you doing?
You kind of missed all the knife talk, so The knife show's over. We're overtime now. We're just talking about Duolingo. Actually, Jake's Jake's trying to learn Japanese, and I'm doing Italian.
Yep.
On
Do you have any
Duolingo.
new knives coming out?
Yeah, I'm always checking out his shit on Instagram.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I think
Good
I've told
stuff.
this story before, but we met at Blade Show this year, and I had talked to him on like a Zoom call through part of the Sharp Art Facebook group, and we had conversations. But then you don't really know what to expect with like body type, how tall someone is, and or just expect to even see someone in person. So we were standing right next to each other at a
And you didn't even know.
yeah, I think it was at the Tempest table, and I had no idea. He's like uncommon, right?
What is he like?
Yeah.
7 feet tall or something?
He's taller than me. I don't think he's quite 7 feet tall, but he's definitely taller than I am.
Well, Jake,
He's probably about
no
six
offense,
something.
no offense, but a lot of people are taller than you.
Yep, I think I'm the national average, so that's about half the population is taller than me.
I don't know. How tall are you, Jake? Like five
Just over
seven?
5'7", yeah.
Yeah. So you're not that short. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
So another thing, here's my New Year's resolution. So I've never been a Trekkie, like Star Trek. Have you ever been a Star Trek fan?
No, but my dad's a big Star Trek fan.
So my dad was too, right? He was a total dork, a complete computer nerd. He worked for NSA doing computer shit. He was always into sci-fi, that kind of stuff. He was a huge Star Trek fan. So apparently there's like 12 different movies, and of course they've got like, I don't know, 8 or 10 or 12 different shows.
Right.
Like you've got Star
Yeah.
Trek, the original series, Star Trek Enterprise, Deep Space Nine, Star Trek Voyager, Discovery, whatever.
Right.
So I looked up the order, like not the release date, but the chronological order of how you're supposed to watch them, like in the Star Trek world, which occurs
Right.
first to the most recent. And so I have started watching Star Trek. And if you're going to start from the beginning, you have to watch Star Trek Enterprise. That's
Hmm.
the name of the series you have to start with. So I've started watching that, and I'm committed to watching all 766 episodes of all the Star Trek series in order.
That's
So
crazy.
far, so far I've watched 2 episodes,
That's wild.
and I'm not sure I'm going to make it through 764 more episodes of this cheesy shit. No offense to anybody that's a Trekkie, but yeah, so like some people say Next Generation is great, Deep Space Nine is great. Right now I'm watching Star Trek Enterprise with Scott Bakula or Dracula or Bakula or whatever his name is, like this B level actor. It's pretty bad. It's
That's
pretty
funny.
bad.
Yeah, growing up, my dad was such a big fan of Star Trek that when DVD players came out and started getting super popular, they actually made DVD players that had like slots for 200 DVDs. And so you could select which slot you wanted to watch. And we had one in our living room that was filled with just Star Trek DVDs of different episodes, different movies.
Really?
And yeah, that was all that was in there. So you could select which slot you wanted to watch, and you had like a list of what was in what slot and just kind of ready, loaded up, ready to go.
So Dan, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. Like I know I've probably offended. Yeah, Scott Bakula, that's the guy. He was from Quantum Leap. That's right, T Fetch. Yes, you
Yeah,
guys.
Dan, I love Stargate. Stargate was a good series.
Yeah, so he's the guy on Star Trek Enterprise, and apparently this occurs when the whole Starfleet was like new, and it was the first Starship Enterprise, and they didn't have all the technology, and they don't know what the hell they're doing, and they're just kind of fumbling through space, and they're like, "Fuck, how does this work? And what are we supposed to do?" Yeah, it's kind of weird. Um,
That's funny.
yeah, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to watch every single Star Trek episode in order, just to say I've seen it.
Good luck. Good luck. I feel like I've probably seen a lot of them just kind of in the background, not paying
Yeah,
attention. But I feel like I've probably seen a decent number of them. I like the movies.
yeah, yeah.
But
Blue, kind of like we are now. Um, so yeah, Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. I'm sure I'll start growing into it. You know what I mean? Like the more you watch something, you kind of can't help but get into it if
Right.
I sort of force myself to watch it. I think I read that the total run time for all the episodes and movies and all that kind of stuff is like 4 weeks
Oh,
total,
damn.
like hours, like
Right.
4 weeks of runtime. That's crazy.
That's crazy, but also lower number than I was expecting. I thought you were gonna say
Yeah,
like if you were watching them all to back to back, it's like 2 years or something ridiculous.
yeah.
But yeah,
No,
still
not
4 weeks. It's a full time job if you're trying to get through them this year.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Because I don't have the kind of time to just sit down and binge 12 episodes in a row. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I might get 2 episodes a week or something like that. So, but I'm going to try it. Did you know that the original series, the original Star Trek with William Shatner, that was only on for 3 seasons?
Oh, really? No, I did not know
It's,
that.
yeah, it seems like it was on forever. You know, you turn on and there's reruns of Star Trek on, and every time it seems like a different episode. Yeah, 3 seasons. That's all it lasted. It was kind of a flop
That's wild.
in its day. It did very poorly, and it didn't get popular until later. Anyway, that's what I've been doing, looking up fucking Star Trek episodes in order, figuring out how to watch them.
That's fun.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll get super into it. He'll wear like a Star Trek uniform on every live going forward, and
I don't know about that, but you know how I
he'll go to
am.
the conventions. Maybe even start a Star Trek YouTube channel.
Nanu
Yeah,
Nanu. Wait, that
never
was
know.
more. Uh, Live long and prosper. Nanu Nanu was Mork from Ork. Mork and Mindy. If anybody knows what that is, you're as old as me. Remember Mork and Mindy with what's his name? The comedian Robin Williams from like
I've heard those words before, but I've never seen it.
you weren't even born. So there was a TV show called Mork and Mindy that had Robin Williams, and his spaceship was an egg. Yes, there it is.
Stacy just said
Stacy.
that too.
Yeah, that show was so damn funny. And he used to say Nanu Nanu.
That's funny.
Yep, Mork and Mindy. All the old folks are chiming in. Yeah, I remember Mork and Mindy.
Yeah,
And all the
I know
young folk like
we're
Jake are
somewhat
like,
closing on time. We can keep rambling, but I'm going to send both Randy's crowdfunder, which again expires in about 4 days, as well as the link to the raffle, the memorial raffle, as well down in the comments. So just kind of want to put that back out there as a quick reminder before we close out. But I have a few more minutes if you have stuff you want to talk about.
no, I'm good. I'm just rambling, talking about dumb shit now. But
Yep.
yeah, you guys, if you can support that um, raffle, just hit up Thrifty Kniffy or Slip Joint Sawyer. And even if you can't do that, buy a hat, buy a
Yeah.
coffee mug, something like that,
Yeah, I'll get that link too. I know Stacy just asked for the link to the merch, so I'll grab that.
1978. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. I would have been 6 or 7 years old, something like that.
That'd be about -9.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, that's all I got. So yeah, everybody, thanks for joining us. Thanks, Bluminati Ninja, for holding it down as always. Thanks to everybody else. Thanks to Stacy for becoming a member, and thanks to everybody that doesn't normally tune in. It was good to see you guys here. And next week we will be over on Jake's channel, same time, same stuff over on Jake's channel. So you guys come back and see us next week.
Yep, appreciate everyone, like Tim said, and see you then.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good night. Nanu, nanu. See if I can figure out how to end this thing.